What's going on, guys? This is the first segment of hints and tips. So it speaks for itself. We're going to be focusing on the different movements and how to sort of optimize them to my specifications. So what that means is my preferred way of doing these movements. Now everyone does them differently, everyone finds different sweet spots, but for me personally I feel them in a certain way and I'm going to share that with you. So sit back, relax, get a protein shake and enjoy these movements. So the first movement is pretty simple. It's not on my regime at the moment, but since we're going through these movements like the bog standard back movements today, what I thought I'd do is I'd start off with some seated row. Now I love seated row because you can literally just rack up the weight and just really squeeze your back and get that thickness. Now there are two ways of doing this. You can either properly row it, as in bring your back forward and pull it back using your lower back to support yourself and get a full range of movement. It also targets different areas of the muscle that you're trying to work. But here I'm stabilizing my back, trying to isolate the upper back and the lats. Remember, with any back movement you try to eliminate using your biceps, so essentially pull with your elbows, squeeze with your back, and you should really isolate the muscle and feel that good contraction where you need to be feeling it instead of getting a good bicep pump. Now the second movement is dumbbell row. Loads of people do this differently. I see lots of people doing it sort of not the way that I would necessarily do it, but the way that I've been taught and the way that I've been hinted to, the way that I find best is to have your hand forward to support yourself, and your knee on the bench, legs slightly further out just to give yourself that good structure, and don't bring your back all the way down. Don't shrug it. Don't let the weight drop. You need to control the weight and slightly bring it out and forward. So in front of you, just bring it down to your face, so not going straight down. You want to be bringing it forward to engage more of the muscles and sweep it up in sort of not a semicircle, but sort of a circular fashion. Now what this would do is it will engage your traps as well as the lats, and it will also squeeze a little bit of the center of the back. I can't remember the name of the muscle right now, so please forgive me for that. And alternate the sides. That's very important. Alternate the sides. Don't just don't just focus on one side and then leave the other, because that will give you a lopsided back. Which is pretty obvious, but still. Again, with this you want to pull with your elbows and squeeze your back. You don't want to be lifting super heavy weight and just mainly using your bicep to get the weight up to impress anyone. Everything in the gym is strictly between you and your progression. It shouldn't be between you and anyone else, or you and trying to boast or show off, because after all you're not going to be able to bench 120 kilograms at once. I still can't do that. There are loads of people who can, but let's not focus on that. The next movement is lat pull down. Now with lat pull down I see loads of people doing this very differently, and I personally found a nice sweet spot where I can squeeze my lats and start to feel it where I should be feeling it without engaging my bicep. Now that would be on the bar. As you can see, when I grab the bar, it's not very close. It's not at the very end of the grip. With this movement I typically like to suicide grip the very end of the angle, which you can see where it bends down. I like to grip right there, right where the parallel line finishes. What this is doing with the thumbs over the end of the grip is it disengages a lot of the bicep and it makes your back work slightly harder. Now you don't want to be swinging about. You don't want to be leaning back trying to jolt your back to get the weight down. That can really damage your back as well. Now the final movement which I'm going through today, I know there's not too many movements. Maybe if you guys would like me to do a part 2, please comment below, give this video a like and a thumbs up. which is pretty much the same thing. But the final movement here is an isolated row. It's a bit of a different angled row. The reason I'm not doing close grip pull down for the last movement is because the machine was taken, and also there's a machine in the gym which you're seeing right now, which essentially is the same thing. It's like a row, pulling it down at a different angle because it's isolated, meaning there's a seat there. You can lock in your legs and your body supported by the chair. You can also really put the weight up slightly and just let your back do all the work. To optimize this movement is pretty simple. As long as you're locked in, you're pretty much there, if I'm honest. But what I like to do is I like to get my back the good stretch by letting the weight pull it up, either by doing this single arm row or whether doing it a 2-arm row, which both feel very different in the sense that you can either pull more weight together in tandem, or you can just focus on one arm at a time. In saying that, I find it very good with both sides to try and get the best stretch possible. So sort of relaxing your scapula at some point but still keeping your back engaged, and then as soon as you hit the peak of the stretch, then engage your back and just squeeze as hard as you can, and it really does work, and you feel it slightly different. You can feel it in your lats, the lower lats, you can feel it in the center of your back, your traps, you can feel it absolutely everywhere in the back, which is essential for building a good back. Now I hope this has helped you guys, maybe even slightly. I'd really appreciate it if you gave me some feedback on this, because I have another one coming up. Please enjoy your day, please enjoy your weekend, and thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has helped some of you.